Hello guys, Trump is losing and Trump is losing badly, and Trump knows that. And that is why in the weeks to come we can hear a lot of bad things about Zelenskyy, Ukraine, and of course leaders of the European Union or Canada. These are traditional fake enemies of the United States when the president of America is afraid to name true evil, which is of course Putin. And I'm really happy that in these very turbulent times, more and more, not just experts, not just politicians, but ordinary people see these totally predictable, totally fake reactions coming from the White House. After really long conversations with Russia, it has become very obvious. No one wants a ceasefire there, and Putin actually plans to attack more countries in the years to come. And he did not answer and did not support any of Trump's offers. So, right now, the President of the United States needs to find someone to blame, and it's very likely he will once again choose Zelenskyy. But all these long, boring, fake negotiation processes give time to the leaders of the European Union, to other countries that support us worldwide. And with each day, we hear more and more strong voices. I'm very grateful to new leaders like Merz, who stand strong with Ukraine. Of course, traditionally Starmer, Macron, and even Meloni, who is a supporter of Trump and Musk, but at the same time realizes that if Trump continues with tariffs on the European Union, this will be very bad, but not just for the EU. This will be very bad for the United States, and what is actually good, deadly for the already collapsing Russian economy. So let's discuss all of these very important topics in the video. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of Russia, actually the only working peace plan, subscribe. We discuss all of that on the channel, and most importantly, we work really hard for that in Ukraine. You know that Donald Trump is a person that says a lot and does not do everything he mentions, and he uses lots of his very aggressive mafia-style business tricks in politics. Personally, as a citizen, as an educated person, I don't like this kind of approaches in negotiations because often they presuppose some disrespect, some blackmail. But that is the choice of the American people, and we have to live with that, hopefully not during his 3 terms. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this recent comments of Donald Trump that he can actually try to become a president of the United States for the 3rd time, thus violating the Constitution. Here in Ukraine, we are not sure he will finish the 2nd term. I mean, like, anything can happen. And speaking about the 3rd term in this context seems quite absurd. But let's return back to the center of this conversation, and these are huge diplomatic mistakes of Donald Trump. He started these negotiations from the weakest point possible, giving everything Putin wanted, starting from a promise no Ukraine in NATO, which he cannot actually make because Ukraine is a sovereign, independent country, and with Trump's attitudes when he says literally almost every day that he's prepared to withdraw from the alliance, is he the one to decide? Moreover, with all the Ukrainian experience, with the Ukrainian production of drones, and our administration states that we can produce 5 million drones per year, maybe you also need Ukraine in NATO. I believe so. And right now, it's quite obvious that Putin rejected all of Trump's offers. He continues targeting Ukraine and not concentrating on negative things. I still have to tell you that the number of drones that he sends to destroy Ukrainian houses, Ukrainian lives grew tremendously since the start of these negotiations, and all because the real plan of Putin is to pretend he is negotiating is to get this return to global politics, like his isolation is broken because of Trump's unprofessionalism, and to keep killing Ukrainians now together with Trump, like demonstrating to the world the fact that you are a war criminal does not prevent you from making business with the United States. I hope more and more people in the United States understand that's not okay. And please remember to subscribe and share these videos to demonstrate your solidarity with Ukraine. We need that a lot. But in these turbulent times in the United States, I see really positive reactions inside Europe. Europe is very big. Europe is very diverse. I don't like it when many treat Europe as a country, because Norway and Italy, Ukraine and Denmark are very different, but united by values, by history, and right now by the understanding that we are all in great danger, not just because of Putin, but also because of Donald Trump. And I'm happy to see that now the Chancellor of Germany, to be Merz, is way stronger than Scholz was, and he's prepared to be one of the military leaders of the European Union, and now together with President Macron, who perhaps is my favorite, together with the President of Finland. Actually, there are a lot of good people, and I'm happy about that. So they are talking about the renewal of nuclear defenses for Europe. France is prepared to guarantee this nuclear umbrella, because do you trust Donald Trump will protect the Baltics? I am 100% sure he won't. And he will find some fake excuses, just as they pretend that this signal gate, was no big deal, when it is actually a scandal of a space size. What is also good, Le Pen, a traditional supporter of Putin, whose party was surely funded by Russia, and there are proven evidence of that, was convicted in France, and she may actually get to prison. And this made Orban of Hungary very worried. So hopefully Europe will cure itself from such pro-Russian agents that were working for decades with the help of Russian connections, with the help of Russian money, and most importantly, working to distort the security and balance in Europe. And actually, Putin's plan was to break NATO and to break the European Union, but we see very contrary things happening. Some countries want to cooperate closer with the European Union. After Brexit, we see that now Britain is very connected to the European Union. I'm not saying it's going to return back, but the processes, this cooperation, this understanding of mutual future, of very connected present, is very visible right now. And I, as a Ukrainian, see it very positively. Let me know, people of Britain, what do you think about that? Also, Norway and the European Union are getting closer. And I think this is definitely a good sign. And with Ukrainian experience, with the Ukrainian determination, with the European understanding of dangers, we can survive this turbulent period of Trump looking for his way. I loved one comment of the Ukrainian intellectual whom I often watch on YouTube, Valery Portnikov, where he said that, this Trump style, he speaks without thinking. That is his political style. And I think, oh my God, it describes the situation with the new American president so beautifully. And that's his approach. He says anything he wants, breaking all the rules and norms, and then he looks for the reaction. If people are frightened, then he wants more from them, like a classical bully. And if people stand strong against this BS, he turns back. And now I am 100% sure we will observe similar things happening with the mineral deal. Recently on a plane, he started saying that Zelenskyy is no good because if he does not accept this mineral deal, attention to my American friends, first of all, Trump and his office rewrote this mineral deal for, 100th time. And right now it has the craziest of all possible additions, where it looks like Ukraine is a colony and guilty for everything, as if we, I don't know, attacked the United States, destroyed the American infrastructure, and now have to pay reparation. Like when we have to give all of our mineral resources, literally not just rare earth minerals, but anything, and also lots of our infrastructure for the past support which Biden gave. And I won't even remind you about the Budapest Memorandum. So most importantly, even if Zelenskyy signs it as Trump demands, which I'm sure he won't do, but even if he signs, the parliament of Ukraine will never ratify it. And what I see right now is that a lot of these negotiators from the American side know literally nothing about the Ukrainian political system. Maybe you've noticed Trump stopped saying that Zelenskyy is a dictator because he learned that we are a parliamentary presidential republic where parliament has way more powers. And actually all of the important steps of the president, like martial law continuation, is always supported by parliament. And Zelenskyy does not control parliament to this dictator state level. And the parliament does not speak about the need of the election. So we see a very high level of ignorance, if that's the correct word, right now in the White House. We see a very high level of anger and hatred. And right now, Trump will continue looking for the one to blame. Of course, he's afraid of Putin, so he will choose Zelenskyy and the European Union. By the way, I've heard that in the EU, they already consider closing the market for the American goods and products if Trump imposes very unnecessary, very wrong tariffs. This can actually lead to the collapse of the global economy. It will be very bad for Europe. It will be very bad for the United States, but this will be deadly for Russia. Before Trump was elected, one of these hypothetical options how he can actually save Ukraine and destroy Russia was Trump's non-professionalism, Trump's negligence and ignorance when he makes economic decisions that will lead to a great economic crisis, something similar to 2008 or maybe worse. And this will bury Russia's economy because they literally do not have any financial cushion to back up their survival, which is something we may witness in the months or years to come. Let me know, would you like more videos about this mineral deal and what's the problem with that? Remember to check my new video on my new channel about the blackout experience, and always in your comments below that videos leave me your ideas for the next videos, because I want it to be our very personal conversation. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. That's an honor. Check our merch shop. We have a new drop, and I hope you will like this products that can actually be great reminders about Ukraine, but also good spring Easter presents. And subscribe to my X, 17,000 there. Subscribe to my Blue Sky, the community is growing, to my Instagram, Threads, and of course our Discord. And thank you so much for all the kind words, for all the advice. Be careful of scammers. I never invite you to chat privately on Telegram or WhatsApp. Literally don't have time for that. But I always read and answer your comments because that's a part of my strength, that's a part of my inspiration, and that is the essence of our community. Slava Ukraini!